So the next thing that I want to talk to you about are irrational numbers. So what are irrational numbers? Well, we just watched a video talking about rational numbers. We said rational numbers are any numbers that can be written as a fraction. So if a number is irrational, that means it cannot be written as the comparison of two integers. So that means that it can't be written as a fraction. So I want you to think about an example of a number that can't be written as a fraction. Probably the most popular irrational number is pi. The number pi is about 3.141259, and it goes on forever and ever. And as a matter of fact, that decimal goes on forever, right? We don't have an exact value of what the decimal pi is, because the decimal pi has been carried out to hundreds of places and it's still going. They have super thinking computers that carry that decimal out forever, and I think it's to like 200,000 places, and we still don't have a terminating or an end to it. So pi would be a good example of an irrational number. What is another good example of an irrational number? Well, we talked about square roots. So we said that the square root of 4, well, that's the same thing as 2 times 2. So this is rational, and it's rational because 4 is a perfect square. But what if we take the square root of a number that's not a perfect square? So think of a number that is not a perfect square, like the number 2. Well, what is the square root of 2? When you put the square root of 2 into your calculator, what do you get? So let's do that. Let's grab Desmos. Just type in Desmos Scientific Calculator, and I've got it bookmarked in your lesson today. But Desmos Scientific Calculator, and I'm just going to see what the square root of 2 is. And it's about 1.4142135, and then that goes on forever. So let's see if we can definition. We know that irrational numbers cannot be written as a fraction. They are things that are the square roots of non-perfect squares. They are decimals that do not terminate or repeat. So they go on forever with no particular pattern. They do not terminate or repeat. And they are also any number with pi. So the number pi, but also pi over 2 or 3 pi, all of those are irrational. So today is just going to be a sorting activity. You are going to sort numbers into categories of rational or irrational. So we said that rational numbers can be whole numbers. That's like the number 0, 1, 2, 3. They can be integers, which are the negatives, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, right? And those go on in opposite directions. They can be fractions. They can be decimals that terminate or repeat. And they can be the square roots of perfect squares. And irrational numbers, we said, could be decimals that do not repeat or terminate. They go on forever, but no pattern. They could be the square roots of a non-perfect square. And they can also be any number dealing with pi. So I'm going to give you some numbers and I want you to sort them. So your activity today is just a sorting activity. Good luck.